Hey guys, this is Kid Broly here, and this is What If I Was in Naruto. So yeah, let's get started. Uh, I forgot to link something to this, just wait a second. Okay, so yeah, I just drew a picture like a couple nights ago of what I would look like in the Naruto world. So yeah. uh, I basically I would go with Naruto to find the new Hokage Lady Tsunade, yeah, for to become the Hokage of the village. I would say that my village would get like a letter from me saying I'm going out to help the Leaf Village find a new Hokage, and my village would be fuming, but they know not to mess with me. That's basically it. So yeah, I basically would to go off to well, I basically would go off and see what they were planning on doing. I would basically, yeah, go with them, saying I was going with them, and they would say, okay, yeah. And Drab basically would tell Naruto that he's going to be teaching Naruto the Rasengan. And I would say, can I learn that jutsu? And Drab would say, if you were 90% less OP, because I am very OP. And then I would say, what if I teach you one of my jutsus that I made and no one else has? I would say it's called Tornado. It's called Wind Style Tornado, basically. And they basically say, that's a pretty impressive jutsu. And Naruto would say, oh, that jutsu that I just saw you do? And Naruto would actually say that I have a similar jutsu to that. And I would say, oh, really? What's it called? And Naruto would say, it's called Wind Style Wind Tornado. And I would say, ooh, interesting. And I basically would say, yeah, that's impressive, but my jutsu is unfinished. And then Dry would say, you have an unfinished jutsu? It's... And I would say, yeah, it's unfinished. I mean, I've been making it, but I can't get it just right. I've been thinking about putting my... It's unfinished because I have to put my chakra into it to actually make it finished. And my, nature chakra to make it finished. And Dry would say, interesting. That's the same principle for the Rasengan. We both have unfinished jutsus right here. And I would say, nice. And then Dry basically would teach me the Rasengan, and I basically would get it finished in like a week because it's basically the same principle of my Wind Style Tornado jutsu. Well, it's not Wind Style, but it's just called Tornado Jutsu. And I basically would just, do it in like a week. Naruto would do it still like in 3 weeks. So, yeah. Oh, and if you don't get the difference between Wind Style Tornado Jutsu and, well, Wind Style Wind Tornado Jutsu and Tornado Jutsu, the difference is Wind Style Wind Tornado Jutsu is basically a humongous tornado that lacks on speed, but mine is a small tornado that revolves around speed. So yeah, that's basically the difference. So yeah, uh, uh I basically would just start to trying everything out to combine my chakra natures with my jutsu, and almost none of them work until I actually put it in my hand and then put my other hand above it and then start putting some chakra into it that way. Some of, my nature chakra. And it's basically going to turn into a wind style inferno. It's going to turn into tornado jutsu inferno. Inferno tornado jutsu. And then I let it go out of my hand, and it starts getting bigger because it actually grows once it's out of, if you put more chakra into it, basically. So, yeah. And then I just let it go, and then it's heading, super fast, faster and faster. And, yeah. It's basically, the more chakra you put into it, it basically gets bigger, but you have to put an immense amount in to make it bigger. It's basically small most of the time. I would say as big as, a backpack most of the time, I want to say. So, yeah. And then I try doing the Rasengan the same way, and I do, Inferno Rasengan. It's basically a molten Rasengan. It's basically a firestorm inside of it. So, once I do it on a tree, that entire tree basically, the entire force behind it basically turns to ash. So, yeah. It's pretty powerful. And then, once I try mixing those two jutsus together, I basically, create a Rasengan in one hand, and then create a tornado in the other. And then I plunk the, Rasengan on top of the tornado, and the tornado basically is absorbing it. Well, not absorbing it, but not colliding with it, but it's basically, I basically put my both hands together, and the tornado basically, I guide the tornado to the Rasengan. It becomes a Rasengan tornado. And then it basically starts forming something different. It's basically, growing these humongous blades of tornadoes. And then once I just basically throw the Rasengan, and there's a tornado at the bottom side. So it's basically becoming a Rasengan that's a tornado Rasengan. So it basically follows wherever the Rasengans follow in the eye of the storm of a tornado. So yeah, it's basically a humongous power boost. This is where I'm going to be ending off for now. So yeah, peace.